Hello, everyone. This is Jerome Waddle, and today's reading will be the first in a new series called the Unitary Reality Series, where the reading of a poem and/or artwork will be followed by a short commentary as to how the poem and/or artwork depicts an experience of a connection to unitary reality. A sense of unitary reality is experienced by an individual when the dichotomy between inner and outer reality has been transcended. Today's reading will be Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's poem, Twilight Down from Heaven, followed by a commentary from C.G. Jung's star pupil Eric Neumann from his book, The Essays of Eric Neumann, Volume 3, Chapter 2, The Experience of Unitary Reality. Neumann expanded the concepts of Jungian psychology with a more comprehensive definition of the archetype and a new concept, unitary reality. Whether or not humanity can be restored to health from its present situation as a self-endangered species depends, according to Neumann, on whether we can experience ourselves as truly creative, in touch with our own being and the world's being. The reading, Twilight Down from Heaven. Twilight down from heaven wafted. What was near, now it is far. Gentle though, and first lofted, luster of the evening star. Off all things the contours shiver, sliding mist, way up it goes. Mirrored deeps, more black than ever, darken the lake in its repose. Now a hint of moon, I wonder. From the east a silver glow, boughs of hair, the willow slender, dandles in the flood below, through this fort of shadows gliding, Luna's unsteady auras dart, through the eye the coolness sliding, touches with a calm the heart. And now Eric Neumann's commentary. It is possible to do full justice to the beauty of this poem by reading it simply as a poem of nature, an evening song. If I speak of the symbolism of the poem, I do not mean to imply that Goethe has made conscious use of symbolism of a specific kind, though, of course, he did this often enough. What we have here is something far more simple and at the same time far more mysterious. It is the absolute identity of symbol and reality, the comprehension and the expression in artistic form of a piece of the unitary reality. It is at once a poem of evening and a poem of old age. The concreteness of the things which belong to daytime and to life is dissolved, and a changing reality now appears, which involves an enlargement both of the world and of the soul. Twilight down from heaven wafted, what was near now is far. Here, the blurring and dissolution of contours is like a blurring of the waning daylight itself, and it is not without a certain element of disquiet. Off all things the contours shiver, sliding mist, way up it goes. This could, in another context, indicate fear. As it is, there is not the slightest suspicion of anything of the kind. There is darkness, it is true, but this is nothing death-dealing or final, since the second half of the stanza shines out like a peaceful triumph or victory song. Gentle though, and firstly lofted luster of the evening star, the glowing light of the star, which rises first in the midst of twilight, mist, and darkness, is a guarantee, a triumph expression of a higher certainty. Night now falls. The words, mirrored deeps more black than ever, darken the lake in its repose, bring us down to the realm of the utmost blackness. Yet this utter blackness is not an abyss. The mirroring calm of the lake, oh, how familiar this is to us, as seen from the east, includes and embraces everything in the silence of a world that is imperishable. But now, dissolving the darkness, a new and different light announces its approach in a verse which remains within the realm of our experience of the everyday beauty of reality, and which is nevertheless the mystic center of the poem. Now a hint of moon, I wonder, from the east a silver glow. In this context, divination does not imply anything uncertain or obscure. It is the foreknowledge of something which is already there, but which is only gradually emerging. The luminary of the night is ascending, and with it rises the secret world, which from time immemorial has linked the light of the moon with rebirth and immortality. Yet all this is only sketched in, as it were. The world, transformed and enchanted by night, has nothing grandiose about it. It is eternal life, eternal movement, gaiety and beauty, vows of hair and the willow slender, dandles in the flood below, and through the sport of shadows gliding, luminous, unsteady auras dart. These lines have the delicacy of a filigree, but they also convey as an unspoken implication the mysterious essence of the mirroring, which in fact represents nothing less than the inner life both of the moving branches and of the shadow show. Yet everything, the ascending moon and the mute and delicate play of the moving forms, is immersed in a living silence in which even the dusk, which had so recently enveloped the world, is completely dissolved. But now, beyond all this, transcending it all and apparently coming from somewhere entirely different, are the last two lines. Through the eye, the coolness sliding touches with a calm in the heart. What a secret lives in these simple words. What a splendid sigh of relief and surrender in an old man at the end of a long life. And what happiness at the approach of death is contained in the single word coolness. How eloquently the suffering and the painful hot unease of the heart are expressed, and at the same time overcome by the little word calm. And now, perhaps the finest of all the miraculous things in this poem, comes the almost uncanny transformation of the world, which is brought about through the imperceptible and paradoxical transition whereby coolness is shown entering the heart through the eyes. The symbol of the coolness of the night conveys the idea of the stillness and reassurance of the invisible presence which is stealing forward to encompass the world. The transcendence of everything that is visible is brought home to us vividly by the transformation of the eyes, which are no longer active like the sun or even receptive like the moon, but have become the gateway through which the invisible and imageless reality penetrates the real center of our humanity, the heart. Imperceptibly, nature has disclosed her essence as a mystery of a higher order. Things move. They are inanimate, quickened, and luminous with meaning in a world which is a poem. Life in a magical transformation of man and landscape becomes transparent and manifest before our eyes. It is this world and the beyond at one and the same time.